changing your life towards a flow state lifestyle is 100% self-talk.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Yes, I know I look like Slim Shady, and this is my new avatar upgrade. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to make sure that you control your mind so you control your life. Your words form certain ideas. Your words are creating a storyline, a narrative that you're living in. Because what is a relationship other than you are attracted to the person that you like, aka you in this case, because it's a self relationship, with the storyline or the narrative that you create. So the first tenet of the self relationship becomes you being attracted to yourself, and number two, what is the storyline that you're creating, consciously creating? Not what society's given you, not what your parents say you have to be, not what your teachers think you want to be, but actually what you decide to be. My archetype is that of the rebel, the outcast, the outlaw, the spiritual bad boy. As I start to explore this in greater depth, I'm starting to notice, man, that even me as a coach, I still have moments where my self-talk is off. You might experience really bad self-talk, where you just keep beating yourself up, you keep criticizing yourself in your own mind. Like, yeah, I know, but I guess, and you have all these rationalizations. You see, when you use the word I guess, or maybe, or perhaps, or quite possibly, you're giving yourself a 50-50% chance of winning. You're not giving yourself a 100% chance of winning. But with incredible adamantium positive self-talk. Adamantium, by the way, is what Wolverine's claws, okay? So they're indestructible. Adamantium self-talk, which means you cannot crush it. With that kind of a mindset and a mentality, with the action steps, now you're getting the ball rolling. And it's kind of a trip, because you would have been like, man, I would have been doing this the whole time if I knew how much self-talk actually affected me. But think about this. How many times that maybe you've won, maybe you've done something incredible, but then that little voice in your head says, nah, it could have been better, you know? You could have adjusted this and that. Yes, there's always room for improvement, man. That doesn't mean you shouldn't celebrate. And this is the mindset that you really want to come from, is celebrate everything. Celebrate everything. Celebrate your life. Love yourself 100%. Value yourself 100%. And let that come through in the words and how you speak to yourself. Because if you really start to speak to yourself like a best friend, like, bro, come on, dude, you got this. That's minuscule, what you just mentioned to me. That isn't even a problem. That's a tiny little flea. Oh, one door closes? Okay, well, there's an infinite number of doors, bro. What are you worrying about that one door for? You see what I'm saying? This is the strong mindset of like, okay, I am a person who decides what is my destiny. And I'm doing that through my words. I'm speaking things into existence, abracadabra, which means I will create as I speak. You don't have to speak ancient Aramaic to know what this means, right? Once you understand the true meaning, you also notice the word Avada Kedavra from Harry Potter, meaning I will destroy as I speak. And this is what we do with our relationships. We say some stupid shit, right? Out of the blue, we'll just say something that triggers us, or in anger, or we'll just say something and be like, wait, what was that? That wasn't me. That was my insecurity speaking, right? That was my trauma speaking. That was my own self-protection speaking, aka the ego, right, who always wants to protect you and make sure that everything's done well and everything's okay. But the art form here is the wabi-sabi of the mind, which is imperfectly perfect. Yeah, my thoughts aren't going to be always crystal clear, super sharp, diamond cut. No. It isn't always going to be that. But you see the perfection within the imperfection, and that's where the refinement comes in. That's where the acceptance comes in. Okay? So if you go, I'm not good enough, you go, good enough for what though, baby? Good enough to be me? I'm the best to be me. Let's go. That's the mindset. I can't do that. Is it that you can't do that, man, or you won't do that? Is it really that you can't do that? Or are you just telling me you can't do that? The question is, how can you do that? Yeah, but that's just not me. How do you know that's just not you, man? You know the identity is like honey. It's like slow molasses. It changes over time. You gotta have some patience. Maybe it will be you. But you gotta put the intention out there, my friend. Yeah, but you know I'm broke. You are not broke, my friend. If you have 1 penny, you are not broke. Yeah, but you know, because of my family that, you know, that I'm such a bad person today. You know, my family was super toxic. Oh, your family. I understand. Your family did what they did. And that's valid. Okay? But are you going to sit here and mope about your family? Or are you going to take responsibility for your healing? Because ultimately, your family still did what they did because they loved you. And if they didn't, that's a pretty bad situation. However, you have to reparent yourself right now. You have to be like, hey, I need to be my own mom and my own dad. How would I speak to myself if I was my own dad? How would I speak to myself if I was my own mom? This is what you're going to have to practice. If you didn't get that, don't seek that from them. Be that. Be the walking example of that. This is what it means by living by example. You're living by your words. You're living with alignment. Okay, this is how you're going to tap into the flow. Because once you're living with alignment, once you're like, hey man, yeah, I'm going to go get myself some glass of water, and you get yourself some OJ, that's not living in alignment. No, but because what you've said and what you've gotten is 2 different things. Now, you might come back with the OJ, but if you keep it quiet, you're not living in alignment. But if you went to get water, you switched up to OJ, you came back and you told the people, hey man, yeah, I just decided halfway that I get some orange juice instead. I was just looking at the container and I was just like, yo, I need to get this one. Boom, now you're living in alignment again, baby, because you are open and transparent and honest with your intentions and your purity, and people can trust you now, bro. I mean, is he really a fitness coach? I mean, he's kind of like overweight though, you know? Like, people are wondering these things, bro. You get what I'm saying? People are really wondering these things. And the competition is high, of course. But guess what? What's better, the competition or the self-improvement? So the practice is simple. You speak to yourself like a best friend would. Like you are your own best lover, your own best mentor, your own best guru. You speak to yourself like a wise old man in an ancient chamber. This is how my inner voice talks. I know I have another opposite inner voice, which is my inner critic, if you want to call it that, but it's really my caretaker. And, you know, the inner caretaker, his name is Zoinks. I've given him a name. He sounds like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, right? So whenever he speaks, he goes, like, I don't know, man. And I go, calm down, brother. It's gonna be fine. We've got this. I mean, are you sure? Would you do it for a Scooby snack? Okay. So become the walking example of your own storyline. What would you do in the movie of your life right now? If you could make your movie hella cool, what would be the next step? A lot of us are enslaved by constraints. We don't give ourselves our own constraints. Oh, but my boss told me to hand it in by 5 o'clock, you know? This is what happens when, you know, you have someone else making the rules, calling the shots for you. Now, you might be a kid watching, you have your parents under your back. But maybe you're not a kid, maybe you're an adult and you still have that. I still have that today. A lot of Asian American or, you know, Southeast Asian kids, they deal with this, with the whole family lineage getting out of the control from the family because it's so tightly knit. Family's amazing. Family's awesome when they're on your side. When they're yelling at you, when there's disagreement instead of agreement, that starts to ruin the relationship with them. So what are some things that you can connect to your family with? This is a question that I repeated on my channel multiple times, and I want you to ask yourself this. Where is a little piece of me in this other person? And how can I connect with that? How can I connect with me and them? Okay, start there and then start expanding, then start getting more curious, then be more understanding. Of course, they have their own world, and their inner world, you can't see that, what's going on underneath the iceberg. You can only love them, encourage them, support them as much as you can. You gotta stop at the point where you feel like it's a burden on your mental well-being. Because if your mind is not sharp, how's your body gonna be sharp? How's your spirit gonna be sharp? It starts with the mind. Knowing your own mind, knowing the other person's mind. And from there, we can then tap into the body. From there, we can tap into the spirit. But as we know, the first law of alchemy, the first law of the Kybalion, Hermetic principles is all is mind. If all is mind, then all starts from the mind. If that is the container, the blank slate, the tabula rasa that we're working with, we might as well take out the stuff that does not belong and fill it with the things that do belong. And this is what subconscious reprogramming really is. This is why the Flow Jedis on this channel, we listen to subliminal messages, right? We brainwash ourselves to be the best version of ourselves. We do things differently than others. Why? Because we want to be the 1% of peak performers. We want to be the best. We want to be upper echelon. We want to be the top of the top. At the top is where you belong. You don't belong with the 99% if you're on this channel. At the top is where you belong. Now, what is that top? The top is whatever you deem is the top. No one else can tell you what the top is, you see, because even your success is subjective. And it's your own mind that causes the constraints again. We all have a financial ceiling, right? What's your financial ceiling? What's the most money that you think you can make every month? That's your financial ceiling. You can't go beyond that. It's like you're hitting a ceiling every time you try. What if there was a way that we could raise that financial ceiling? How do we do that? Through the mind, through the imagination, through the visualization, through the optimization of the self-talk. How you're speaking to you. So you see, all of these obstacles that I've just thrown at you, I've given you alternatives on handling these obstacles, and you do this with your self-talk. You do this with the character. So try living with a mentor for a day in your own mind, the best version of you for a day in your own mind, and tell me you don't feel better. What if every time that you spoke, it was like the echolocation of a bat, that it would change your frequency? Would that be so hard to believe? Would that really be so hard to believe, since words are vibrations, since words are sounds? Words have sounds to them. So I'm speaking right now with this very specific cadence, delivery, tonality that's making you receive this information. Now, what if I spoke to you like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. How are you doing today? Okay, that would be a different vibe. Whoa, some of you would just be like, what the fuck? and click out of the video immediately, right? Why? Because there's a lack of genuineness. There's a lack of like, oh, what he's saying, I really believe. Well, because I believe it, man, right? But if I'm saying something that I don't believe, again, you're not living in alignment with your words. So your words are like the bridge that creates the experiences that you have. Your words create the experience that you're going through. It creates the feelings. Your words also create the feelings that you hold, the vibration that you're in. You can make yourself sad with your own words. You can make yourself happy with your own words. You can make yourself confused with your own words. You can make yourself feel grateful with your own words. So your words create your world, as my mentor, AZD, would say. And I'm not telling you to swallow your words. I'm just telling you to think of it through a different filter. What about the filter of care, but also holding your value? What if you got disrespected by a family member? How would you stand up to them? Would you just swallow it? Would you just take it? Okay, I guess so. All right, okay. Then they don't want you to respond like that. I'm sure of it. Would they really want a son or a daughter to be like this? Or do they really want you to be happy, right? And express yourself how you truly want to be? Hey mom, have I ever told you how grateful I am that you're in my life? Like, let's just forget about the argument for a second. How amazing is it to spend time with me? One day I'm gonna be an old man, you know? And I'm so grateful for the time that we have now to evolve. I really appreciate that. Look at this. Notice the heart frequency, right? It's here. It's high. It's high vibrational. The other one is you arguing, okay? You arguing with them, thinking they're not on your side. You never support what I do. That's one frequency. The other one is gratitude. Which one is going to bring you to your destiny or your storyline in the movie? Think of the movie, both movies playing. Both movies are playing at the same time. Which movie is going to take you towards your result, the one that you want? Because you can't be speaking into existence all the things you dislike about your mother, bro. Or sis. Whoever's listening, right? We have some chicas on this channel. You want to be creating the reality with them, a specific reality with them. And so the words have got to match up to that reality. Mom, I know, Mom. I like how you care about me so much, you know? High vibe. Very high vibe. Care. Care. Care instead of resistance. Acceptance instead of fear. This is the process. This is how our words are going to transform our world. And this is not just how we change our lives. We change the lives of the people around us. This is the upward spiral game. You already know what it is. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Like this video. Share it with your friends and family. Whoever needs to hear this. Change your words around. Let's get it today. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it. Boom.